Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a fantasy book recommendation video, and I have 4 books here to recommend to you, and yeah, so let's get started. The first book I have is Blood Song by Anthony Ryan. I have read 19 books this year, and out of all the books I read, this is definitely my favorite. It was so good, amazing. I completely loved it. If you're looking for like just a really good book that has a lot of action, that has a really good storyline, really good background, really good characters that you really learn to love and enjoy, and you just can't wait to read what happens to them, and you feel so connected to them that you also don't want anything bad to happen to them. And there were like a couple of times within this book I thought something bad was going to happen to a couple of characters, and I freaked out and started crying because like I really couldn't take it. I got so scared, you know. So I really enjoyed this book. It follows this man, Valen Alcerna, from the time that he is a child and he is left at the gates of the Sixth Order. So within their religion, which by the way, their religious system is explained so well and it's so cool. So within their religion, there are different orders, and Valen is a part of the Sixth Order. So this particular order, their main thing is to protect the faith and the realm. So they are essentially the warriors. So he talks about his whole initiation situation and how he became a brother within the order, and then he also talks about his brothers in the order. So it's like really good. It's just cool, you know. I did a full book review on it, so I'll leave the link to that in the description, but just know that you need to read this book right away if you haven't already. And I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because I just loved it. It was amazing. The second book that I have is The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemisin, and this book follows the main character, who is a girl. Yay, female main characters are always good, and you know, they are slightly rare. So the main character is summoned basically to this magical kingdom, and there she's told that she's the heiress to the throne, and she's kind of like, what are you talking about? And she just discovers everything about herself, about her family, just things that she had no idea about, she didn't know. And there's a lot of political struggles because everybody kind of wants to be on the throne, of course. And within the story, you learn about the different gods. So originally there was order, chaos, and balance, and then there was a war between the gods, and one of those gods was killed, and all this kind of crazy stuff happens. This other one is locked up and chained up and everything, and it's pretty good. It's like really cool. There's like a lot of like just craziness going on, and I really liked it, and I really enjoyed it. And Patrick Rutherford gave this book 5 stars, if that means anything to you, okay? There is no map within this book, which sucks, but what can you do? I forgot to show you the map for Blood Song, so I'll do that really fast. I have the unified realm up here, and then below is the neighboring empire, who you meet later on, okay? And then this is like another map that's like a little bit better, I guess. I don't know if you can see it. The third book I want to recommend is The Scions of Shannara by Terry Brooks. It's, if you want to read a high fantasy novel that you would really like and really enjoy, I would recommend this one. So basically Terry Brooks, his whole, like, all the books he writes are pretty much about the Shannara, and the Shannara is just this elven clan, this elven group. So he kicks off this series, this world, with the Sword of Shannara, and you don't have to read the Sword of Shannara to read this book. Side note, just so you know, but there will be a lot of references to the Sword of Shannara. So if you've read that series already and you really enjoyed it, you probably have like nostalgic moments reading this book. But anyway, this book follows the descendants of this elven clan, and now these descendants are not 100% elves, but they do have the elven blood in them, and one of them practices magic, which is called Wishong. And in their world and society, magic is outlawed. You better not be walking around practicing magic because you will be killed. And the Federation is a government that has taken over, and they're crazy psychopaths. They have jacked up the dwarves, like it's insane. It's not a good place to be walking around looking like an elf practicing magic. So he tries to make himself look less elf-like, and also nobody knows what happened to the elves. The elves are like totally missing. No one has any clue where they are, where they have gone. So basically what happens here in this book is that Par practices Wishsong, and Wishsong, he's able to create these different images and everything, and they look like illusions, but some of them are very real and realistic. And in doing so, he accidentally unleashes something called the Shadow Twin. And the Shadow Twin are evil, by the way. And so they have this whole mission to defeat the Shadow Twin. And so him and along with his cousins are given these different tasks to do. And the tasks are very interesting because they struggle with things within themselves. Like Par hates that he has these magical abilities. He doesn't see the point in them at all, but within his tasks, it's like he's discovering himself and discovering maybe this Wishsong isn't so bad. So it was really good and highly enjoyable. I really liked it. Just an old classic fantasy map, and it just shows you the terrain and everything. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I said this book takes place 300 years after the Sword of Shannara, so just in case you're wondering. And this series is called The Heritage of Shannara, and there are 4 books in the series. Then the final book I have to recommend is In the Hall of the Dragon King by Stephen Lawhead. This book is more of low fantasy, but there is this epic quest going on. So basically the main character, Quentin, is studying to be a monk at a monastery, so he's an acolyte, and this night comes and he's totally jacked up and like almost on the brink of death, and he has this message that needs to be delivered about the Dragon King. And so the knight cannot deliver the message because he's near death, and the only person that can do it is Quentin. And so Quentin goes upon this cool quest throughout the kingdom. He goes to places he's never been before, sees things he hasn't seen before. It's just a cool quest. I really like old school fantasy quests. I think you would really like this book. Or if you've never really read anything like that, I would recommend this one to read to kind of start off with. Quentin, he goes through a lot of changes. He matures a lot as a character, and I really like that because in the beginning, he's very naive. He's never really been anywhere at all outside of the monastery, and so he really goes through a really cool character development. There's a lot of dark forces stopping him from getting this message out there, stopping him on his quest, and he's like, there's just twists and turns left and right. The king's brother wants the kingdom, and he's enlists the help of a necromancer, which I think is suicidal and crazy anyway, but he enlists the help of this necromancer to take over the kingdom. And so there's a lot of forces stopping anyone besides the prince, the king's brother, from taking the throne. So it's really good, and this is a part of a trilogy too. It's really cool, and I referred to it a lot when I was reading the book. These are the 4 books that I recommend. I really hope that you guys check these books out, and I have another part of this video, and it's basically just a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away one of these books to you. The only thing that you have to do is leave a comment recommending a fantasy book for me to read that you think I would really like and enjoy. If you've never read fantasy, then you can recommend any book. And yeah, and the only other thing is make sure that the Book Depository delivers to your home, because that's how I'm going to be sending the book to you. And I will not do a video announcing the winner. I will announce the winner on Twitter, and you don't have to follow me on Twitter if you don't want to. It's not that serious. Just make sure your Twitter stalk me within a week or two when I announce the winner. I think I will announce the winner a week from now, so I'll leave everything in the description, like what day that is and everything. Have an amazing weekend and good luck. Bye. I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.